Hi Taurus, Central Earth babies. Welcome to BroomstickFairy and welcome back to my oldies. How are you guys? This is going to be the reading for June 2017 and the focus is mainly for love, but if other energies get thrown in there, then by all means just take them. Okie dokie. So Taurus, I feel like a lot of you are feeling disconnected from spirit, or you're feeling out of touch with yourself or with your higher self. Perhaps you're not trusting the perhaps you're not trusting the guidance you're receiving subtly from the spirit world, or it can mean that you're not listening to the hunches within yourself and your own intuition. You may be ignoring that, and it may be causing a bit of strife or a bit of pain for you right now, or a little bit of just disconnect. You like the guidance that you may be receiving subtly, you may be subtly, oh my god, subtly. I'm not saying right. Receiving messages from spirit, or the hunches. You're ignoring them. Some questioning of yourself. This may be due to some questioning of yourself. You may be questioning if perhaps you're with the right partner. You've got the spiritual warrior in reverse. Now, the spiritual warrior in this beautiful, beautiful Native American tarot deck, which is Vision Quest, it's so beautiful. It focuses on Native American wisdom, so it's not necessarily the same as the traditional decks. So this is equivalent to the Chariot in the normal decks, yeah? But you received it in reverse. So the spiritual warrior in reverse is telling you that you're feeling blocked or stifled. It can be a few different reasons. But your gut feelings that may be ignored, and you may be feeling out of touch with spirit or out of touch with your core or your true self. And this may be a result due to some questioning of yourself if you are with the right person who your heart and soul desires. Like, say, for instance, if this person you may be with really the one for you, like, for those of you involved, like, do they make your heart sing? Like, do they make your heart pitta patta pitta patta pitta patta, or like, I don't know, something may feel like it's lacking or something may feel like it's missing for some, because then you have the 9 of water next to it and then the 3 of air, which is both doubt and hurt, and I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I hope you can see the cards. It's quite dim in this room. I apologize for those who are not familiar, but I quite like dark textures and tones, and you know, them set to me. You guys know about that. You're freaking Taurus, for Christ's sakes. You know about setting the mood, and you know about textures and tones and all sorts. You're essential earth babies, as I stated earlier. So, anyways, let's get on with the reading. And for those of you who are not involved, you may be so far removed from yourself that you don't have time to want to date anyone right now. And it's showing also within your standing of the world, because like when your soul's values filter through your work or your activities, because that's what this card is about when it's in upright, yeah. I feel like, and when your work reflects your truth, like within you, you become one, and you're no longer torn. You become one and whole and direct and confident in going along in your approach. But being that it's in reverse, maybe you're not aligned with that. So I feel like because you haven't become one. And you are torn between some conflicting desires, which this card often has a shadow side of exposing when it's in reverse. Okay, and being that it's relevant to the tarot card in the traditional tarot card decks. On the other spectrum of this card, I feel like you may simply feel like you are barking up the wrong tree. And that's how I always refer to the Chariot deck, because it's so forceful. This one is a quite humble and serene kind of approach to it, but the Chariot is more like a forceful, active, traveling. Like, I'm doing this because it's like the whip for the horses to get in line. But for this one, it's more serene and it's more humble. But with it being in reverse, it still can mean like you're kind of barking up the wrong tree and you need to change direction with whom you have your sights set on in regards to love. But for others of you, because this is a general reading, so forgive me if the messages jump from here to there, but I've got to get it in where you fit in. This may simply be that you are separated from someone you love because of distance and locations. So this spiritual warrior in reverse could mean a damper or a halt on plans or delays, okay? And then what the card that follows in line right under it, you have the Justice card or the Spirit Guide card also in reverse. So like I said earlier, definitely feeling some sort of out of touch with spirit, or like something is not getting the right fruition, or something is not prospering or blooming in the way, or illuminating or rising to the top in the way that you feel that it should be. So you have Spirit God, and Spirit God is in reverse. Another beautiful depicted card. Justice may not be served yet, hence the reason for this in reverse. Because you feel disconnected from your true love, or from family from afar. Some of you may be in a foreign country and you may feel disconnected from your family from afar. And I say this because you have some presence of some older entities or older energies, which could be family members, but I'll get into that later on. And then for some of you, this spirit guide in reverse highlights the fact that you're not in tune with your higher self or spirit right now. The energy is blocked or stifled. Okay, there may be people around you that may be more mature and more experienced that can probably help you, because because like I said, there's a few older energies here that is more advanced or more established. And then following next to the spiritual warrior in reverse, you have the Nine of Water, which it speaks of joy, beauty, happiness, wishes granted. Your wishes has been fulfilled, or your wishes might command. But this card is in reverse, so it speaks of not so much that. And then you also receive the Three of Air, or the Three of Doubt next to that. So this is definitely some sort of disappointment or setback or delay of some sort. Something you had hoped for to come to fruition maybe stalled or simply just didn't manifest like you aspired it to. Your inner channels may be blocked, and you are feeling a dagger to your heart. The traditional decks, they have a picture of a heart with swords piercing through it. Okay? So something is piercing through and causing your joy to leak. These cups, this water overflowing, too much emotional, too much oozing. And oozing pain, okay? You are dwelling on past choices and regrets. You're very doubtful right now with these two cards here paired up. They both dashed out of the deck at the same time. Some of you may feel like you amateurly raced into something. You've got the Son of Air here. This could be rebellion. This could be hastefulness. This can be too much head over heart. So perhaps you put your heart or head, when it pertains to this card, on the line, and you haven't received the response you thought you would. Ego and head may be taking over. Okay. And a spiritual retreat back to your core and an opening of your heart is needed for some of you, because you also have the grandmother card here. Okay, well, I'll get into that in a second. Do you feel like you are waiting in vain? feel like some of you feel like you're waiting in vain for something. With this 7 of Earth here, which speaks of depletion, it means planting seeds and waiting for your harvest or waiting for your crops to grow and things of that sort. But in this card, in this deck, it's kind of depicted as more on the negative side. Like you're almost waiting for something that is not going to happen. But in the other decks, it can mean a little bit something slightly different. But then with all these put up together, then you have the 9 of Air here. I definitely feel like there's a lot of head, a lot of being in your head. You're not really following your heart too much right now. Okay. Expectations causes disappointments. So it's no surprise that this 9 of Air, this one here, which often speaks of anguish, can't sleep at night. You're up like a night owl, but the only thing is the owl is accustomed to this and is made for this and suited for this. But us humans, we need to rest. So you need to put your mind at rest and be humble and meditate and serene and be in touch with your core and your center and be grounded, because if you're too much into your head, it's going to drive you crazy. Okay? And so it's no surprise, like I said, that this 9 of Air has popped up as a clarifier with all of these cards. Okay? And for some of you that are married, or in long-term relationships, you may need to go on a holiday with your spouse, because travel might be what keeps this bond sewn together. All right? So with these 2 8s, you have 2 8s on either side here. You have the 8 of Fire, which is insight, highlights insight in this deck. And then you have the 8 of Earth, or 8 of Pentacles. And this in the regular decks means 8 of Wands. So, I feel like these 2 8s are helping you to open up dialogue and communicate and be willing to work on your partnership. Lots of sharing, spontaneity, and a break from routine and the norm is what will save this union. Okay, an insightful solution appears. It's like you almost begin the month or come into the month of June with this out of touch feeling, but eventually I feel like you will get more in tune with spirit, and an illumination surrounds you, or illumination emits from you, and you are light and you just feel connected more and you're more aware of the messages and the God that your guides have for you. And those of you who have come to realize that a certain person isn't for you or isn't after all, I feel like you will enjoy this newfound epiphany to break free on your own lonesome and go more into your center, go more into your heart, dig more into your soul, and bring out your talents, utilize your talents so that you can feel like you're ready to love. Okay? Sorry if I'm jumping. It's like the messages are coming through like differently. So I'm really sorry if I'm like jumping from different sides, and I really hope that you're still getting the messages, okay? There are a few messages here, okay? And I feel like you are advised to settle down, because right underneath the 3 of Air and the 9 of Water, so I feel like the advice for this 3 of Air and this doubt and this 9 of Water in reverse, which is negligence of joy or not so much joy. The advice that fell under that, you have the 6 of Air and the Shaman. So the 6 of Swords, which is clarity, or the Shaman, which is equivalent to the Hierophant in the traditional decks. Okay? And I feel like this is telling you, advising you to settle down or turn down extreme natures in your personality that may be causing imbalances. Okay? These cards are so beautiful. I love Native American. So, yeah. The other scenario for some of you is to seek out the help of a healer or an energy shifter or a shaman or a therapist. Some of you may want to even leave tradition behind or to abandon what's expected of you from loved ones, whether this is the family you were born into or the one you have created for yourself. Okay, because that can also mean the presence of these two. It means like the Six of Swords or the Six of Air means like you're traveling onto a new wavelength, and you're kind of leaving the tradition behind, or kind of leaving, because the shaman can represent a lot of different energies. It can represent being too traditional, or it can represent being unorthodox. But overall it has an underlining tone of teaching. All right. The presence of this grandmother or this empress that you have right next to you in this tarot card deck, it is called the grandmother. It's beautiful, but it's also the empress, and this is a Taurus card. Okay, this is known as the Taurus card, the Venus card of love and sensuality and starting up new business projects and believing in yourself, believing in, or even a birth. Some of you pregnant, because I'm just looking at some of these cups. Some of you maybe an unexpected pregnancy. Congratulations if it's you. So yeah, the Empress or the grandmother. This could basically mean just asking you to seek guidance from an older, experienced loved one who can help you out of a rut and perhaps get you more involved in activities that are more hard-like. Okay, so you can get out of your head. But you had this Son of Air up here, and then you had this Nine of Air as well right above it. So the advice to heal from this these corrupt feelings of here, which this card was placed right underneath. So this grandmother is the solution. Whether it's you adopt the qualities more of the Empress, or you go and you speak to a grandmother-like figure, or an elderly woman, or your mother, who you know has who is more experienced and that can help you out of a rut and perhaps get you more involved in heartfelt activities. And like I said, this is a Taurus card, so absorb that Venus energy and work on your heart and your talent so you can feel fruitful to love and receive love. And then the outcome, I feel like overall working on your talents and revitalizing the real, you will benefit your love life tremendously. Okay? Especially because the Eight of Earth speaks on like tangible, working hard, working diligently towards a goal, working fairly, working together, working in unity, being dedicated to a cause or dedicated to someone, dedicated to see the fruits of your labor. And then with this other eight here, definitely can depict some travel of some sort. And then the outcome, which is this last row here, from you, I just feel like there's definitely a lot of illumination going on, or there's definitely like there's light. All three of these cards have a lot of orange in it, so I feel like you're going to feel alive, and you're going to feel revitalized, and you're going to feel energized, and passion is going to resurface within you by the time the end of June comes around and rolling into July. Because also you have the Five of, I feel like if you do all of this, you have the Five of Fire, stress, but you have it in reverse now on the outcome. So that's a beautiful card to have, following the Shaman and the Six of Air as well. All right, so if you settle down your insides, maybe, or settle down your more extreme tendencies, or if you go on a journey or a retreat to a to a shaman, or to someone who can help you heal your energy, clear your energies, then this stress, this conflict, this Five of Fire will be resolved, because it's in reverse now. It will be lifted. All right? And I don't know why I got another message for some of you. I feel like, I don't know why, but there's a message about something to do with farming has come through for some of you. Farming or planting or a birth, or some sort of fruition. Okay? No. That is your tarot card reading. I really hope that you got some messages, my sensuous, luxurious beings. Okie dokie. Now, you have received from the for the oracle cards. I love oracle cards, so I've got a few for you. I hope you don't mind. You from the romance angels, you received keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So when I saw this pop out, it was definitely solidifying or highlighting a message that is here for some of you about maybe worrying if you're with the right partner or not. I mean, I'm not saying that this is saying that you stay if you're not unhappy, because the open mind may be that you know or you have in mind. So if you are with someone, you have in mind someone who really is your soulmate, even though you might have thought the person you were with was your soulmate. And then on the flip side, for some of you, you may actually be with the one that you were supposed to be with, but you may be having some sort of doubts because they may be completely different from you. Okay? But just keep an open mind. And then from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, you have received the Observer in reverse. The Observer in reverse is basically telling you, this is like a little fox looking through a stethoscope. Looking through a, is that the word? Allow me if it ain't. Ever think sometimes your life options are suction cups to your face that you can't see beyond yourself? There's a big world out there, a multitude of potential realities that you're unable to perceive at present. So you're a little stuck. It's time to get advice from someone you trust. Like I said, ooh, see, spirit, I feel like spirit is really trying to get your attention. Or if it's not the spirit world, or if it's not a loved one that passed over in the spirit world, it's definitely a loved one that you can talk to in this realm, in the physical flesh that you can talk to, okay? Or pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to, there's definitely somebody trying to get some message towards your spirit. Towards your Taurus. Who's better perspective on your circumstance, or someone you can trust, someone who has a better perspective on your circumstances. Other points of view are needed now before you move forward. Take heart. Heart. I feel like that's the base of this reading here. That's the sway. A beautiful vista is waiting for you to drink it in. You just need a little help widening your scope beyond your small self. Beautiful. And then also in this deck, you received mending. Number 52. Forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. So this may pertain for some of you. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding the integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal: the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. Relationship message, being that this is a relationship reading. You've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you're to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything you do, even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. Like I said, open your heart, Taurus. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come of forgiveness and an honest redress. Beautiful, beautiful. From the Fairies Oracle, one of my faves, you received number 42. Can you hear this Native American music? It's beautiful. Mick the Myomancer. Small clues, details, the messages everywhere, Taurus. I'm excited. This read is resonating if you read it. I just hope that it's going to resonate with, even if it's just one of you. Shoot, I'm happy. Patience. That's the overall. So attention to details is important at this time. Little things are not only important in themselves, but they also give you important information about larger things. Look for the inner, hidden meaning in ordinary objects, happenings, and experiences. Life is trying to teach you something by speaking to you gently. With luck and application, you will get the message before it is to speak to you more loudly. Body language in humans as well as mice may give you the very useful information at this present time, especially if you learn to read it properly. The clues to your answers you seek and the things you need to know are all around you. You are surrounded by omens, portents, and signs. This is exciting because it definitely pertains to going back to spirit guide and spiritual warrior or feeling out of touch. And signs, but the signs are not written on billboard in large letters. They are in small happenings in your life. Be awake, be aware. Hint, if you work out what the question really is, it is much easier to recognize the answer when it comes. You also received solace, and solace, you received him in reverse though. It's about fire, fire, fire. Holla, holla, everybody get ready to get dollar. Okay. So solace, when the light and spiritual empowerment of solace is veiled, we need to remember that this singer is there to help with seemingly lost causes and forlorn hopes. When you don't even know what to ask for his help and guidance, and then do the best you can for yourself. The overall message of solace is knowledge, consciousness, synthesis, and spiritual empowerment. Get this, get close to that spirit, Taurus. You're earthy, you're sensual, your nature. Turn these up right, baby. You got it, you got it. Now, you received dog. Dog in reverse. Number 14, which is from the medicine cards. I know I'm like doing overkill, but I don't know, I feel like you never know. There's going to be something in here for somebody, so I'm just going to keep on going. I'm really silly, don't mind me. Very animated, so if my voice changes, that's why. In the contrary, and they say in the contrary because this hopped up in reverse, dog may be telling you that you have become critical or mean due to the company you are keeping. The reversal of this medicine could also imply that it's time to stop cowering with fear and time to begin to tackle the adversaries of your confidence. The key is to realize that these are not external enemies, but thought forms in your own mind, which tell you that you are not worthy of loyalty, either to yourselves or to others. You may want to examine the patterns of disloyalty in your life. Do you, for example, pass on gossip or not speak up when someone else is rumor mongering? Do you make jokes that belittle others? Do you refuse to return kindness? These are characteristics of fear, and particularly of a fear that is common to the human two-legged family. The fear of not belonging or not being approved of. Reclaim the power of loyalty to self and self-truth. Become like dog and become your own best friend. So yes, follow your heart, follow your intuition, follow your passions. I love you, Taurus, and bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of June. Peace.